up Mr. Ruby, big up Jarvis.
We just finished the stream.
Hey, last me having ya. It's the Manchester United Chelsea preview. Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we feeling? How are we doing tonight? I've just gone back. Sorry, I'm late. Just been to the Manchester Jazz Festival. Just saw a brilliant band, and music be the love of my life. Other than football, music be the love of my life. The love of my life, people. So how are we doing? Welcome all. Big up Stephanie Griffin. Big up Peter Griffin. The Griffins are in the house tonight, man. The Griffins in the house tonight. But anyway, Therapy Army, let's welcome in Jarvis, Mr. Mick Ruby. Big up Mundo. The mighty Mundo is here. Hopefully some of the people might still be joining us as well. So, everybody, Manchester United need 1 point to qualify for top 4. We're going to get into it tonight. So big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video on your way in. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification button because it lets you know when we're next live. Big up to every one of you. Guys, how are we doing? Start with Jarvis first. How you doing, Jarvis? How is lovely Norway? Still light outside, yeah?
It's still light outside, but I won't pull up the curtain today, so we won't see what's outside Jarvis's window. But yeah, it's still outside, and the summer is coming. It's still spring, I would say, but give it a couple of weeks, then I can go outside and get a better tan.
Ooh. There you go. Top up that get that tan, man. Get that tan. Top up that melanin. Definitely, I've been doing that. I've been out in Manchester sun today. Definitely. Mick Ruby, how you doing, bro?
Oh, lovely as usual to have you. And I hope you enjoyed that jazz festival. I'm fine. We just finished off a stream. We had a fantastic cracking show as usual. We looked at the relegation battle and where we can pin some quality players. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But you know, I'm singing Jarvis's tune, the vitamin D, the sun is shining, and I'm looking forward for this cracking show because tomorrow we got to go to Fat Frank and take all these 3 cookies that he stole from us. We need those 3 cookies. There's 3 points. You ain't going to keep any cookies. You know, 3 points.
Super Frank Lampard. Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, but Thursday, definitely. Mundo, how are we doing? Make sure, people, you go and check out Man UFC Realist TV. Jarvis and Mick have just done a show to talk about the relegation teams and what players we could take from them. Mundo, talk to me. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good. How's
the weather in London? LONDON.
It's nice. It's like high teens, early 20s, so not quite summer, but it's t-shirt weather. So
yeah, and how are the Rascals? Are they having it or what? Are they all right?
Yeah. They're getting a bit jumpy. They're just they're like the dad. They're just waiting for Man United to be sold. When Man United sold, I become calm, they become calm.
They go like, Dad, are we there yet? Exactly. You all been there, like, you know, sitting in the back seat of the car where your father is driving. So, Pa, are we there yet?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the Man United fan base. We're the backseat drivers, like literally.
We are the backseat drivers. Trust me.
We know where we want to go. We know where the destination is, but it seems like we're taking the longest route to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing AC/DC. We're on a highway to hell.
Exactly. The Glazers are taking the highway. I don't know where it is too, but yeah, it's definitely not.
We have instead of Beavis and Butthead, we have a Jarhead and a Mickhead.
Yeah. Listen, big up to every one of you. Guys, I'm going to start with you, Mundo. We're playing Chelsea. They're not Chelsea anymore. They're just Chelsea. Because for over a decade and a half, I referred to them as Chelsea. Because let's not mince any words about it. It was the Russian people's money that was pumped into that club. It was Russian people's money pumped into that club. So now they're just Chelsea. Just like the back old days when they used to have the cars packed behind their goal. If you know, you know. If you're old enough and you remember, you know. Mundo, Super Frankie Lampard is coming to OT. What are you thinking? Manchester United need 1 point. But the title I put up earlier was that surely Manchester United can't bottle.
I can't see them beating us. They are terrible. They are absolutely dreadful. If we
clip this up, people. Clip this up. Go ahead,
clip it now. If we somehow fail to win. We need to, because you know what I'm looking at now, because I'm seeing people saying, "Oh, top four, third and fourth don't make any difference," but it does, because if you finish fourth, our season starts earlier because you've got to qualify for the Champions League. So I want to finish third. I don't want that bullshit early qualification in July, right? Because that's going to eat into valuable preseason time. We might not, looking at how things are going at the moment, we're probably not going to have the players that we want in place by then anyway, just because it's going to be a bit of a mess this summer, as always. So why have the extra burden of traveling to some far off Eastern European country or wherever we end up, when we can just get the job done? Newcastle drop points. All we need to do is win our 2 home games. We finish third. We go straight into the group stages of the Champions League. That's what we need to do. And also, we owe Chelsea one. We've got to put them to bed. And I'm tired of us making crap teams look better. It's like, if you're in the mud as a football team and you need a bit of a lift, this season it's play Man United. Honestly, that is what it's been like, hasn't it? Every team there, you think they've sacked the manager, or they've got a new manager, or they're in a bit of a, like Tottenham and these teams that are struggling. It's like when we roll into town, it's like, yes, rubbing our hands together. But it's at OT, and we've been formidable. Not always performing as we should, but we always get over the line at OT. We've always seemed to get over the line. That's why we're in the position we're in, our home form, because our away form's been horrendous. So I expect Chelsea to be dispatched. I expect a harder game from Fulham. I think Fulham would be a tougher challenge than Chelsea, but you just never know. It's Chelsea, and we seem to let teams off the hook. But I'm confident, even if we don't beat them, I don't expect to lose. So I think by the end of Thursday, we'll be in the Champions League.
Oh.
Yeah, I can go second. I can't see Nordin. So let's say Chelsea, they are at the 17th place in the form table in the last 10 games. They have 1 victory, 3 draws, and 6 losses. So actually, we should beat them. We should expect to beat them, and we should demand to beat them, because they are really bad at the moment, even though they have good players. The only thing I'm worried about if they are going to show up. They have brilliant players like the young guy from the World Cup, the Argentinian
Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez, and a lot of good players. So we know they can play ball. The only thing is they have Frank Lampard, and I'm not sure what's going on. Tom Bowley has just bought so many players. I don't think they even know their first names on each other. They don't know how to play together. So we should beat them. So it depends what our players, because Man United, we have a tendency to bottle it when the tough gets going. I'm not sure, but I think we have it under control. We just need 1 point. So I expect us to show up. I expect us to take those 3 points and win the game and secure the top 4, maybe get in third, and move on for next season.
Yeah, big up for the comments here below. Big up for you, Mohammed Hamza. Big up Therapy Army. Big up the panel. Love from Doha, Qatar. We are taking over. Yes. Is it my turn to go? Can I rant, please? Can I go ahead?
If you're ranting about the takeover and you've got some news, then yeah.
No. I'm here as a fan. I'm talking about 40 million down the drain. Todd Bowley is fucking insane.
Yeah.
God, I mean, look at it now. Like, it doesn't matter if you're getting paper and splashing the paper, right? If you don't have a fucking culture and you don't have a cohesion, you don't have a team. I mean, look at the players they bought in. Mudryk, they bought a lot of players. They splashed 400 million in the market, sitting currently in 12th. How many London teams are they out there in the Premier League? 6? 6?
Yeah.
They're even below Crystal Palace, just above West Ham, right? This is like, what 400 billion gives to you. So I'm not worried, man. I toy in the line. They don't have any. It's just a team of individual brilliances, and I don't see it happening, right? They've been sacking managers. Fat Frank is not the answer. We know who Frank Lampard is. Don't matter. Like you give him the keys to Ferrari, he will crash it. That's the thing. So I'm not worried. They have nothing to play for. We need 1 point. And the matter of fact that Newcastle just did a draw yesterday against Leicester. That means if we win tomorrow, we're back on third. And that's brilliant, right? That's a good return on investment of a season. And then we go to the FA Cup and make sure we get a second trophy, That would be a brilliant season. But I'm not worried tomorrow. We're playing at home, Old Trafford, unbeaten. Come on, lads. It's Chelsea. It's what you said, Chelsea. The biggest mistake that they did was to sack Marina. She was brilliant in the transfer market. Brilliant negotiator. They don't have it because Todd Bowley decided he wanted to do everything himself. He wants to be the sporting director, the assistant CEO, the the receptionist, everything, the massages, the coach, the sporting director. You know what I mean. I'm not worried. Let blues be in blues. There's a reason why they call the blues depression.
Let's hope you're right, Mickey. Mickey's in fighting talk there, fighting talk from everybody tonight. But
uppercuts.
It's like what Jarvis said, innit? It's about them turning up. Obviously, Todd Bowley moving like man like Ed Woodward, but it's Ed Woodward on speed. You know what I mean? Ed Woodward was normal, wasn't it? But Todd Bowley's moving like Ed Woodward on speed. It's going to be a very interesting game, I think, on Thursday. I so badly wanted to play them when Graham Potter was there. And I was like, look at this now, because the game got rescheduled, didn't it? I think because of the Europa League schedule. Yeah. So the game got rescheduled, and I'm just like, oh, my gosh. So Super Frank comes in, does what he does. And I think you read out the form book. If I'm not mistaken, you read out the form book, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Where you basically said they've lost 6 out of their last 10, yeah?
Mm-hmm. 1, 3, 6.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The biggest thing for me is that I'm trying to even gauge what type of tactics, what they're playing, how they're playing on the Frank Lampard. But when I look at it, I just think it's almost like a mix and mash. So at times he's playing 3 at the back. I know that against Real Madrid he played 3 at the back, 3 defenders, and then 2 wing backs. And then other times he's playing 4 at the back. He's playing like 4-3-3.
And not without Mason Mount. Not without Mason Mount. He always goes with Mason Mount.
Yeah. But I've not really seen, I've not really seen Mason Mount play. I didn't see him. Maybe he was injured against...
Yeah. Where's Lukaku?
Lukaku's in Inter Milan.
I know, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Well, he always says, where's Vegas?
Yeah, is João Felix injured? Because he hasn't played. I don't know if he's been dropped or...
Yeah, I think he's gone back to Havertz up front with Sterling. Sometimes he's playing Sterling.
Come on. Look, let's be serious here. Havertz and Sterling. I'm not concerned about this team whatsoever. You can't bring... If we can't get over the line and they're playing those 2 donkeys up front, I'm sorry. No, I'm not having that. We need to put this team to bed. They are a joke.
Yeah. Somebody's in the comments say Reece is out, Cucurella is out, Mount is out for the season.
Mount is out for the season. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. There's one in the chat there. Twalomba. Peter says Mount is out for the season. It also says Reece out, Cucurella is out. Kante is out as well. Yeah. Kante.
Oh, come on. We need to put this team to bed.
Yeah. You shall not pass.
Yeah. So Bumbaye, welcome to the stream. Big up to you.
Hey, Bumbaye.
Big up, Bumbaye.
Me and Bumbaye will be in the stadium on Thursday. We'll be there sitting next to each other. So we'll be going to the game. Talk to me. Have you watched any of the Chelsea games? Are you nervous? Is there anything to worry about a Chelsea? Manchester United only need 1 point to qualify for the Champions League. What do you reckon?
I reckon if we can't get 1 point from the next 2 games, guys, we deserve Europa League. So I'm hoping, it really went for us this week. With Liverpool, God bless Unai Emery, and
yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, all day, every day. So yeah, I'm really I watched Chelsea the other day, the last game. This is a team that just looks completely lost. It's lost. Not as in lost the game, just lost. They don't know what they're doing. It's all over the show. But just go in there and do what we do, and I think we can get at least a point and put our feet up, and then get ready for the final. This Chelsea side with a proper manager is a serious side. If you look at what they have, especially with what's coming back in terms of they're going to have Lukaku coming back. They signed another guy, but at the moment, you know what? We should get that point. We really should get that point. I don't see too much danger if they just continue on this fine form that they're on. We should be okay.
Yeah, big up. So at the moment, looking at that from the Chelsea side of things, but Shia is out. What's feared to be a long-term knee injury, joining Mason Mount, Reece James, and Ben Chilwell. So all of them. Lewis Hall, meanwhile, looks set to continue his left wing role. I like Lewis Hall. He's one of the youngsters that's come through. Has come through their youth team, to be fair. He's got a wicked energy and a beautiful sense of, beautiful wonder of a left foot. So he's somebody definitely will be bombing up and down that touchline. Chelsea are in dire form, obviously. Yeah. Everybody understands that. Even Lampard has started to question some of his the commitment of the players. Honestly, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be one that's totally against the run of play, like the run of form. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely going to be. If they beat us, it's going to be one of those nights. But what I'm worried about is that they've got Enzo Fernandez. They've got that kid that they signed on the left wing. Sorry, on the right wing. I forgot his name.
Mudryk.
No, not Mudryk. The other guy. I forget his name. Oh, my God. I can't believe I forgot his name. But the right winger.
It's all right. They signed a lot. You can be forgiven, man.
He's very tricky. Very tricky. And he had a fantastic game against Bournemouth. I remember I watched their game against Bournemouth, and he had a fantastic game against Bournemouth. And he was a threat constantly on the right-hand side.
Is it Mad? I can't pronounce his name.
Noni Madueke.
Yeah, Madueke. Yeah. So he is somebody who's a threat, obviously. And if he plays, Enzo Fernandez is a fantastic player. They've got Kovacic. I can't never say his name either. He's a brilliant midfield player. And then obviously Kante, one of the best midfielders of his generation in the past.
He's injured. Yeah, he's gone.
Is Kante injured again?
Yeah,
he's out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting. So what's going to play is the kid that was on loan at Crystal Palace. He's going to be playing. He's been playing a lot of the games.
The blondie guy. What's his name?
You talk about.
I forgot his name as well. There's so many of them, are they? Bloody hell.
A little bit longer hair, a little bit wavy, blondie.
Yeah.
What's his name?
He's a good player.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Gallagher, yeah.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher. So what they've been playing usually is like they play Kappa, they play usually Kokorea, and if he's out, he's out. So it could be Balashi is definitely out. And what they could be playing is playing most likely playing Fofana, Silva. That's who they usually be playing, like Koulibaly. And it's going to be very interesting tactically, like who they're going to. Zakaria is a good player, so most likely it's going to be Conor Gallagher, Zakaria, and Enzo Fernandez, and probably the front three would be that Montwani kid, and what's his name? Oh God, the Man City ex-player. I can't believe the man.
I'm just reading the comments from Twalumba Pires. He's also saying Kovac is out.
Oh, Kovac is out as well. Wow.
Right.
So they've got so many injuries. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they. But definitely in midfield, it'll be Zakaria, Enzo, and maybe one of their new players.
Gallagher will play in there.
Yeah, Gallagher, and then it will be Havertz, Sterling, and that Montwani kid. I think that's the lineup. I think that's going to be the lineup.
How about lost my left butt cheek? Is he going to play?
Say that again?
Loftus cheek. What did I say? Lost my left butt cheek.
Yeah, it could be Loftus cheek in midfield if Kojovic is out as well.
Lift my left butt cheek. Loftus cheek. Loftus. Sorry, man.
Well, listen, the biggest thing for me is that we can't really talk about and think about the patterns of play, how they try to play. because he varies the game. I thought Real Madrid in the first leg, the second leg. Or was it the second leg? What? No, the first leg. I thought they played really well against
in Madrid. They played well in Madrid, yeah.
Yeah, but they couldn't finish. So their build-up play is really good. Obviously, it's Enzo Fernandez dictating the game from midfield, and is Havertz just needs 10 chances and he scores 1. You know what I mean? Saying that you get the first opportunity, first goal, first chance, half a chance, and he'll put it top corner on Thursday. Knowing
I think I like to go like Brother Said is always saying, like, you know, he always saying Ole Gunnar freestyle. But Lampard is the master of freestyle. I'm a freestyler. Waka maka throne. You know that song, right? So he's just basically going out there, say, guys, God, here's the ball, God, play, right? Because you see that there's no pattern of play. It's just individuals running like the headless chickens. They don't know, passing around it, but no end product. So I'm not worried, man.
Okay, I'm going to go to you, Mick. I'll stay with you. So how do you expect Manchester United to line up? What team do you reckon Man United are going to put out? So Rashford's back in training. Martinez is still out for the season. Donny van der Beek is training, but I doubt it. I think he's still out.
I wouldn't start Rashford tomorrow. I would rest Rashford for the FA Cup to be sensible, right?
No, but he was ill. He was ill, so he's recovered from the illness. He wasn't injured.
Okay.
He was ill.
Oh, if he's back in training, he's definitely starting. But I see the same backline as we finished off last time as well. Don't interrupt that. I see Shaw definitely as a lineup, together with Lindelof and Varane for sure, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's it. You know, I don't see Dalot coming back any nearer. In terms of the midfield, same, unchanged. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. That's it. And the attacking line, I see Rashford. Will Martial start? Anthony? Yeah, probably. I don't see a Weghorst giving a start.
I think it's a fair shout that, you know, you put Eriksen in there. There's no Kante here, so that changes everything. There's no Kovacic, that changes everything. That
and
allows
we're playing
us to
at home, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty good, that midfield. Nothing to fear there, really. I'm not saying just go in headless chicken thinking it's one. It's not. They do have individual talent. That problem is they're not gelling. They're not a team. They're just waiting for the season to finish, to get closure. The new manager comes in, then I think we'll start to see the real Chelsea. But having said that, Chelsea, you know, it's a wounded animal, and a wounded animal coming to Manchester United is difficult to see them getting, you know, beating us at home. But like I said, they don't have anything to play for. The only thing that they don't want is to get hammered. Sometimes if there's absolutely no pressure, maybe you might pull something out the bag. So I'd say to our boys, you know, it's not won yet. You have to get at least a point, and then you can relax. But I think Kante missing is definitely in our favour. It allows Eriksen to play and, you know, do his thing without much fear.
I think I have a sneaky feeling it will be a hemorrhage tomorrow for some reason. No, I don't know. We will get to the score prediction later, but I just have a sneaky feeling.
Thursday, Mick, not tomorrow. Thursday.
For me, it's past midnight, so I'll say tomorrow. Valid.
Is that what it is? Cool. For you, it is. Sweden, it is. Yeah, Norway, it is. Jarvis, I'll go to you. What team are you picking? Who's your front three? Because the midfield picks itself. Even though I think that we need to be competitive in a bit, and they always give us Frank's gonna come. He's gonna come and understand where he's at. You don't want to get embarrassed. It's live on television, the whole world. It's the only game that's live on a Thursday night in the Premier League. So in front of them, millions of watching audience. So he's not going to get embarrassed. You know, it's still a big game, Manchester United. And I just want to give perspective that Chelsea were always our bogey team historically. Even when they were crap, even when they had cars parked behind their goal, they used to always give us a game at Old Trafford, especially at Old Trafford. I've been there throughout the years, many a game where Chelsea have beaten us or we've just drawn the game. 1 point will do, but what you picking, considering that there's a lot of brief against Martial at the moment. The club's coming out briefing for the first time. Multiple different journalists are quoting saying that time is done out here, run out of patience. Obviously, he got substituted. Actually, it was one of his best games for Manchester United against Bournemouth. where he was getting on the ball. He was actually involved in a lot of positive actions. And then he got substituted, and then he went down the tunnel. Then he came back, apparently, according to Ten Hag. So what's going on in terms of that? But who are you going with your front three?
Yeah, Mick, he had a good starting 11. The only thing we were talking about was, like you mentioned, Martial. What happened to Martial last game? Why did he get subbed off? And he put on Weghorst in the 55, 60th minute, and Martial was actually doing good in that second half. So it worries me a little bit. I'm not sure. I had my theory, but who knows? I have a sneaking suspicion that Martial will start on the bench. Rashford will start in the 9, and the Garnacho will start on the left. That's a good possibility. But to be fair,
is that what you would like to see, or is that what you're hoping to see?
Yeah, I would like to see it because Martial, I don't like Martial. He's been injured all the time, and when he comes back, he plays one good game, and he goes back to just doing nothing.
I agree with you. I agree with you what you're saying there, Jarvis, because he was actually getting warmed up already to score. He didn't look happy that he didn't understand why he was taken off. So I'm like you. I want to know why.
Yeah, and another thing, with Chelsea, they look like like us last year under Rangnick. The players they have given up. And you mentioned Lampard. He wants to win. Yeah, of course, Lampard wants to win, but the players, they don't trust Lampard. He's an interim manager. He has nothing to say. They do as they want now because he's the substitute teacher, and everybody is just going nuts in the
That's what I said in the beginning. Here, all right, boy, here's the ball. Go out and play.
Yeah. So it's up to the players if they want to show up. I think we should beat them, and I think the midfield with Eriksen, Casemiro, and Bruno is excellent. When we go with them at home, we always go high. We attack with pace. We attack with power. So I would like to actually see Garnacho start. He's one of the only winger we have that can take on his man. Anthony can't do it. Sancho can't do it. Rashford, he can do it, but only when he gets the ball in behind, so he can run and use his pace. But Garnacho, he go directly on his man and try to
Would
pass.
you like to see a Garnacho start then?
Yeah, Garnacho, definitely. I would like to see Garnacho. And, he needs more game time, and it will be perfect for him to get 90 minutes on Thursday. And maybe rest him a little bit in the weekend, so he's fit for fight in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I agree. Give him some minutes, right? So we can see more of Ivar Garnacho.
Yeah.
Mundo, what team are you picking to beat Chelsea?
I want to stick with what the guys have said, but I agree with Jarvis. I suspect Rashford would play in the 9. Just think Martial will be on the bench. I'm not sure if he'll start Garnacho. I think Sancho might start again on the left, Anthony on the right, and then the midfield picks itself. Defense picks itself. Be interesting to see what tactics Ten Hag goes with tomorrow, because they still have the threat of Sterling in behind, don't they, with his pace. So
Definitely.
is he going to play the high line? I don't know. I mean, because in the back of his mind, we know we need a point. I think Chelsea are going to come and play low block. I don't expect them to be expansive. So it could be one of those games where...
You think they're going to play on the counter?
I think Chelsea will. I think that's how they're going to play.
Yeah, they will play a low block. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to play on the counter. They're going to try and utilise Sterling's pace. So I think our manager might be concerned about being caught with a sucker punch. So it might be a little bit of... It's not going to be what we want, I think. I don't think it's going to be an expansive game. I don't think Man United are going to go and high press and attack, just because when I think about our centre-backs, if you had Shaw in there, and he might go with Shaw, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to drop Lindelof. But, when we play the high line, our centre-halves, they do it anyway. They try and engage the forwards in the midfield area, don't they? So there's a bit of spacing behind. So that's the only. I think the manager might think about that, because that might play into Chelsea's hands, because I can imagine that's what they're looking for, aren't they? Just to spring the trap and get in Sterling in behind. So be interested to know what his tactics are tomorrow. If it was me, I would just take the risk, high risk football. I'd just strangle them. I don't think they've got the quality. I honestly don't think. I think their defense buckles under pressure, and if we get out the traps quickly and we just strangle them and we press them high, we'll force errors, we'll score goals, and then we can take the foot off the gas. You know, get the game won in the first 20, 25 minutes of the game, and then just, you know, because they don't have anything. It's not like, and I'm going to refer back to the Spurs game, and I know that was away from home, but no matter how shit Spurs are, they've still got Harry Kane and Son, right? Who can just pick something out of nothing. I don't see that in this Chelsea team. I don't see what match win have they got? And when I look at it, I think I don't really fear them. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is that Sterling thing, because he's got pace, but again, he's a bit of a headless chicken. And if he plays on the left-hand side, then Wamby's got him, right? He's going nowhere. So tactically tomorrow, it's going to be very interesting. That's what I'm going to be keen to see from the beginning, what the lineup is and how we start the game from a tactical perspective.
What was their result on the weekend, by the way? Who did they play?
They played Man City and they lost 1-0, but City put out their second team. They literally put out their second team.
How did
Chelsea
they
had
play?
opportunities.
Did you watch that game? I didn't watch it.
I watched that game. That game.
How did they play?
Problem with Chelsea is, the best part of Chelsea is the defense, then the midfield, then the attack, in that order. What you find with Chelsea is the team at the back is starting to buckle now, and it's because it's so unsettled. Ordinarily, they do have some good quality back there, but it's so unsettled with injuries and chopping and changing that they just can't find it. Then the midfield with Kante, he really does help them a lot. He brings energy and he tries to break lines, but the attack is too close to the midfield. And even on the counter, it's half-hearted. It's not what it could be and what it should be with the players that they've got. They look completely lost against City. It was just, it was pretty easy work for City. They didn't really offer anything. There was no threat. Sterling was, a few half-hearted efforts, but nothing really to worry about at all. This is why at home, with the players that are missing, I go for the jugular, man. Wan-Bissaka starts. He manages Sterling every time I've seen him play against him. Varane with Lindelof and Luke Shaw on the left. Then you go with the usual midfield. And then you know what? You give Garnacho a game here and you tell him, you go at that right back. You do what you do. You know what? Test him. Think about Garnacho. He's courageous. He will give you that step over and he will keep going at you and going at you and going at you. He doesn't get deterred. So just tell him to do that. Press them high. Do you know what I mean? Press them high, because they already play a deep game, these. And when they try to get out, it's not going to work against us. I don't feel it. I don't see it.
Same what we did in Bournemouth. We pressed them really high in the very first half as well. Keep the same pressure on.
That's what I would do, man. Do that blueprint. But obviously, if we a bit more quality. I think Rashford tomorrow, if he plays, if he starts, he's going to give them trouble. And then from there, you can take it how you want it. Do you know what I mean? You can put Martial on. You can bring Sancho on, whatever. But I'd like to see Garnacho get minutes, having come back recently. Get some blood pumping in those legs. And get you ready to make maybe a difference if you're not going to start in the final. Do you know what I mean? He needs some minutes, that kid. Rashford as well. It'd be good to get, give him some time. I think for me, man, Martial, me, it's not personal, but I just don't like this player. I don't like his body language is very negative for me. Head goes down, he mopes a lot. I think, there's 2 games left of the season. He's not going to save his career now. This is long overdue. The only difficulty I find is that it's going to be hard to get somebody to pay that wage if he demands that wage. And that's just a problem that we have at this club, that hopefully going forward we can start.
Where do you think he will fit? I mean, a Serie A, maybe an Italian club, Martial. It's a slower league, so he will. I mean, yeah.
Juventus were asking about him, to be fair. Enter Milan, Juventus.
I mean,
I think it would do good in Serie A, like a slower league tempo, 100% more
You know-
technical.
One thing about the Italians, they'll fix whatever injuries he has. Italy, in terms of sports science and how players' fitnesses are, they will get to the ends. They'll find out exactly what's troubling him, why he's getting all of these multiple different injuries. I think that might be a league for him to go to. But I'm hearing stuff about Aston Villa and other teams in the Premier League. But it's going to be very interesting. So
Maybe we can do a swap with Lautaro Martinez at Inter, like, a swap deal. Here you go.
Whatever
think-
Martial is going, well, I guarantee you this, and again, you can clip it. Because his contract ends in 2024, right? He's going somewhere on loan. We ain't getting jack shit in terms of any transfer fee for him, right? He's going out on loan, and then his contract will end, and he won't come back. That's what's going to happen with him.
I think alone
really makes sense because they like those kind of deals, don't they? Those Italian teams. So
alone is good though, because end of the day, it's a player that's going to be of no use. At least let somebody else give him the opportunity to showcase something. In the eventuality, you might get something for him. But I think Italy is a good shout for Anthony Martial.
Yeah.
I watched him against Bournemouth, and I agree with Dino. To be honest, I know I didn't do the podcast afterwards, but I saw Martial do what Martial can do. There was some good, quick interplay in and around the area, which I thought was good. There was taking the ball with back to goal, and holding on to it a little bit, giving it off. He's just, for me, unfortunately, a player that is just not kicked on with us. There is talent there, but we have to move forward now as a club, as a team. We have a vision, and I don't feel he's part of it.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be very interesting. Big up Saeed TV, by the way. Big up Saeed. Make sure, people, you go and subscribe to Saeed. It's a road to 50 or 60, whatever K that he's at the moment. So go and check it out. And big up to my brother Adewale, who has a thing or two with Bruno and Anthony, but mainly with Bruno. Adewale says Anthony Bruno conversion rate are first and third lowest in the league. That's actually big up to that super chat, by the way, because we're going to come to it. Obviously, the biggest thing about us is that we fail to score goals. The goals have dried up. The patterns of play have gone. I don't know what's going on with these players. I don't know what he's telling them to do and what they're actually doing, because aspect of it looks like it is unprofessional, actually. Very unprofessional, because, when you're meant to pass all of those patterns, you should go through it on a training ground. So the patterns of playing when you get into the last third, where the attacking rotational play comes in, and where the passing rhythm and the different interchanging comes in. I see all the interchanging. I see Bruno popping up on the left, on the right, in the center. Sometimes it's the false nine. Martial dropping into midfield. Sometimes even coming near the halfway line to link the play. I see all of that. I see Sancho going to the other side. Anthony sometimes coming on this side. I see that all. But what I don't see is the third man runs, the pass being connected. I don't see when they need to pass, they don't pass. When they need to shoot, they don't shoot. When they need to do the extra pass, they're not doing it. So how are we going to get these goals, people, when you've got Bruno conversion rate first, Anthony third lowest in the league? I mean, it's incredible. To be fair, Adewale, what he's keeping out of that statistics as well is that Bruno has set up the most chances this season in the Premier League. So we're just not there. People are not there to score them. So I'll start with you, Jarvis. Where do these goals come from? I looked at the game against Bournemouth, and you're only good as your last game. We controlled that the first half an hour. Manchester United were in full control of that first half an hour. But in that first half an hour, what's the point in being controlled if you only made one clear chance? And at the end of the day, that was a brilliant pass. But it was another pass from the defender to Casemiro, who magically improvised and did a brilliant goal. If Bournemouth would have equalized, I don't know where the goal was coming from. We had so many opportunities in the second half where it's 3 against 3, 4 on 3, and we just mess it up. So where are these goals coming from?
Yeah, that's the big question. where are the goals coming from? I can't see it at the moment. The only player I feel who is a little bit of a threat is Garnacho, and we have of course Rashford, but he's been a shadow of himself in the last 3 to 4 games. So and even Bruno is starting to slack off, because I was watching a YouTube film that talked about the minutes played, and De Gea, Bruno, and Rashford has played over 4,000 minutes this season. So they are on the edge of injuries, and especially Bruno and Rashford, and fatigue all the time. So and they are our goal threat and creative force. So I feel we have a problem at the moment to score goals. Yes, and as you mentioned, Nuruddin, we have stopped with the patterns. We don't play out from the back anymore as we used to. When Casemiro was in the team, we played out. We created triangles with the fullbacks and centre backs.
You mean Martinez?
And a dropping midfielder. We have stopped with that. We play directly to the midfield, and Bruno tried to make something out of it by himself.
I was talking about Lissandro Martinez ball playing ability.
Yeah,
taking the play from deep.
That's what I was saying, Jarvis.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's like if Varane, I don't think he can do it. I don't either think Lindelof can do it. They are excellent center backs, but they don't have the ball playing ability. So that's a big key at the moment. That's why we are missing the patterns and the triangles and the style of play. We don't see it anymore. So for me, we have a big problem scoring goals. At the moment, I feel we should give Garnacho a chance. I would also like to see Pellistri, but he's not going to anywhere near that pitch because Ten Hag doesn't see his talent. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's just the biggest problem. I don't know how to solve it. I'm mute.
Noticed that straight away, that soon as our goal tally started going down, not even he was great before he got injured, but as soon as he got injured, the goal tally and the chances of creating clearer chances is heavily dropped. And that's because Martinez is our playmaker from the back. He's passing into the last third, into the midfield, and his percentage of high pass, quality passes, we definitely missed. I think Lindelof can do it. Lindelof, I saw graphs the other day, some stats the other day, where Lindelof has really good passing into the middle and good runs into the middle. So he can do it. Big up Alien Turner for the super chat. And Eric and I can make a donkey win the derby. Hey, big up. Let's hope you're right, bro, because that's one derby we're going to win. Big up Sheikh Arian. By the way, Sheikh Arian had a meeting. After having a meeting earlier today with me and a delegation, Team Sheikh Jazim wants to successfully get the deal done exclusively after the FA Cup final. Big up to you, Sheikh Arian. Big up. I hope the GCSEs are going well. That's what happens when you start revising. You start dreaming that you're having meetings with Sheikh Jazim. That's what they do to your exams, eh? That's the type of pressure that's going on. Big up to you. There he is. Big up. Question is that I'll go to you, Mundo. Where are the goals coming from? Where are we gonna score? Where are we gonna score? Because it just looks really random at the moment. The creativity is gone. We predicted it on this channel. We said there's going to be a burnout. We said that with that type of squad, there's not enough depth and quality. And we said that it's going to come a time where it's going to catch up with us, and it's severely caught up with us. But what, to me, has melted their brain, it's like they can't make the simplest pass. Everybody's gone greedy. Everybody wants to go gun-ho. People were shooting from like 30, 40 yards out. It's unbelievable.
What's happened is, yeah, I think there is an element of fatigue, and players have reverted to type. So it's hard to break bad habits, especially in such a short period of time. So when you've got guys like Bruno and Rashford, they're used for the last 2 or 3 seasons, however long, they play hero ball, innit? They always want to try the most difficult pass. They always want to shoot from impossible angles. And what we're lacking is that intensity. And where we were good earlier on in the season, in the past where we were good, was where we had the intensity and we were winning the ball back high up the pitch and forcing mistakes, and then getting players like Rashford into position, or Bruno, where they can score goals, or Anthony. You know, I remember his first goal against Liverpool, how well worked that was, that goal. You know, it was getting into the box, making those runs, constructing play, because we were winning the ball up high. Now, because we're not doing that, and I noticed that even against Bournemouth, we did high press for a little while, but then how long did that last? About half an hour, and then we dropped into like a mid block. And the problem is, our players are not intelligent enough. We need better players. That's number one, but they're not intelligent enough to play the type of football that Ten Hag wants to play. You know, if you look at, I hate using them as an example, but you look at Man City. Yeah, they have physicality and they're very good at in terms of winning the ball back and everything else. But their players also have great in-game intelligence. They know what to do on the ball. They take their time, even under pressure. And we just don't have those type of players. Everything, they can only play one way, and that's 100 miles an hour, and kind of gung-ho. And it's just how they've been trained over the last however many years, and the profile of player we've got at the moment. And the only players we've really got that are kind of calm, Martinez, unfortunately, is injured. Eriksen, but he hasn't got the physicality. That's the problem. He lacks the physicality. Casemiro to an extent, but he's been doing too much, and he's now showing signs of fatigue. So, you know, his energy around the pitch was crucial for us. From an attacking sense, not just defensively, because people look at Casemiro as a defensive player. He's contributed his own, 13 GA or something this season, which is great for CDM. But the other side of it as well, when he was playing passes through the lines, that took a lot of people by surprise. Casemiro can pass a ball. No one really knew that he could pass a ball. All of that seems to have gone away. So it seems a little bit disjointed, like the team is not operating as a team. It's like operating almost like three separate compartments. Like you've got the defense, they're solid. You've got the midfield doing their job, and then you've got the front four. And the first two compartments seem to be working okay, but no matter what the combination is up front, it's just horrible to watch. All of them are just, the form has just gone out the window, and they're all playing like individuals and just doing crazy shit, like shooting from impossible angles and doing mad stuff, rather than just having that patience, recycling the ball, the movement that we were seeing earlier on. And on the other thing as well, their intensity's gone from a defensive perspective. They're not pressing. I don't know if that's the manager or if the players have run out of steam. They're just not playing with that level of intensity. So that's why we're seeing this sluggish, horrible football. And it's just, we need the season to end. And the problem is, the big problem, and people have already alluded to it in the chat, is that we are heading towards a cup final against Man City, a team that are banging form, who are 2 games away from completing the treble. So they've got, the incentives are high for them. And we're going into this game at the moment in horrible, horrible form. So we need to pick up some momentum starting with Thursday. We've got 2 games left of the season. We need to use those 2 games to get ourselves back on it, because against Man City, we need not just 11 players, we need 16 players, 11 plus those on the bench. Every single one of them needs to be on it if we're going to get over City, because
honestly, I'm not even trying to even think about the final, because I'm like, we'll either get spanked or we'll fluke it somehow. We'll either get spanked.
You remember in 99? Remember Man United in 99? I'm getting that feeling with City. It's just like the momentum is there. Like, it's just there. we need to stop them. We need to do...
It's going to be very interesting. I'll go to you, Mick Ruby. Where are the goals coming from? Where are the
We
goals
have to start with the root cause first, going back, because if you look at total football, you have mini triangles, the Cruyff style football, and this is the style that Ten Hag has adopted. So prior to the Christmas, we were scoring high goals, you know, because you had the spine, the Bermuda Triangle. At the very bottom of that spine was actually Martinez, Varane, and Casemiro, right? That's one triangle. And then you had Eriksen, Sancho, and who else? Bruno, the little tiki-taka triangles. On the left side, you had, like, you know, linking up with the Santos and stuff like that. And you had Dalot as well, running up and down. So that was a formation that was working for Erik ten Hag. But according to that, you had certain injuries to key players, of course. You see scissor tackles on Donny van de Beek. That was actually supposed to play like a rotation for Bruno. You had scissor tackles on Eriksen. You had scissor tackle injury for youngster, the weapon that came in, Garnacho.
Yeah.
So basically, you had to sort of switch things around. It's not easy, you know. In the middle of the season, when you're playing 3 games a week, trust me, you don't have much time to train on the drills and new drills in the training pitch, right? Manchester United played the most games out of them all, right? We played the FA Cup, Europa League, Carabao Cup, and Prems, right? So of course you're going to come down to the fatigue, and of course it's coming down. Just shoot. But the way I see it, right? Knock, knock. There's nobody there to finish off the dinner, right? So evidently, what I see, like, you know, Wan-Bissaka has picked up big time. The train is going forward. He's been playing those cutting through balls from behind, but nobody comes in the 6-yard box to actually bury the ball. I would like to see like a likes of Bruno. Yeah. Bruno has an excellent shot, as like of Eriksen. I also see, like, you know, they have to pass more, like, you know, in terms of Anthony Dos Santos. You know, he's almost there to bury the ball in. Stop going for this top draw corner shot, the Hollywood goal. Just pass the ball. You saw it. But also Casemiro. Guys, this guy can shoot. This guy is dangerous on set pieces. You saw that bicycle goal. Oh, my God. Where did that come from? So I'm not worried. If we start playing that tiki-taka football again, finding those formations, I mean, it's a away game. I mean, it's a neutral ground on Wembley. So all I'm saying is it's a cup tie, it's a knockout final. Anything could happen, right? It's a derby, right? Form goes out the window, as always. But for Thursday's game, the lineup, what we're discussing, high pressing, I see like a 3-4-0. I don't see us conceding a goal, barring that the form they are in and they are individual teams, right? The mentality, I see that the mentality and the willingness to complete the season is there. Like, you know, we saw it. We saw the first half against Bournemouth, right? How we were pressing them high. But then a little bit of fatigue came in, but we finished off resolute, clean sheet. Yeah. That's just my analysis, mate. So...
Now, 100%, I think there's been a massive drop-off in it. I think it was January, February where we were...
You also had McTominay out on injury for a long time. So what are you going to play with?
I mean, where we were coasting, I think where we were playing really well, where we peaked was after that cup final for me personally. After that, I think some of the players thought that it was done, that the season was done, and that was it. We won a cup. And I always remember that, thinking that Mickey Mouse Trophy, people over-celebrated that. Honestly, it wasn't just Roy Keane. I noticed it, and I tried to say, but people were calling me negative for me saying that, because it's one of those trophies that you don't get carried away with it. Do not get carried away with it. And
somebody in the comment here called. Sorry.
I genuinely don't think that some of the players recovered from that 7-0 thrashing at Anfield. I genuinely don't think that some of those players fully recovered, because remember, it was Barcelona, the cup final, then Liverpool. That's what it was.
There's one thing City hates, and that's Marcus Rashford on the break. There's one thing. So I agree with this gentleman, Craig Warby, in the comment here. Says it's derby, 90 minutes, defend well, keep the shape, and hope we can hit him on the break. Because that's one thing they hate, our pace. That's the thing.
No, 100%. Listen, 100%. It is what it is. Listen, to me, Manchester United have to make 0 mistakes in that game. 0 mistakes. For us to win, we have to make 0 mistakes. And Man City have to score screamers. They have to score screamers where you just go, you know what, they were just a better team. I'm happy to take that. For me, win, lose, or draw, I always say 3 results in a football game. Is you win, you lose, you draw. but it's about how you lose. There's no shame in losing football games. It's about how you lose. Mumbai, where are the goals coming from? It's gonna be a massive build up to that Man City first ever Manchester Derby FA Cup final. It's gonna be a lot of build up to that. That game, that build up will take care of itself. But Mumbai, where are the goals coming from? Me and you will be there on Thursday. You will see where we sit, the seats. You're close, especially second half on the Stretford end. You are closest you can get, my friend. So, where are the goals coming from? By the way, I definitely do not think Garnacho will be starting the game. I think Garnacho will come on. I think from what I see, that is building him up to have a bit of game. So 10 minutes to start with, and then again 20 minutes last game. He might get half an hour on Thursday. So, who do you think? Where are the goals coming from? And you remember all the arguments me and you were having about the players getting fatigued?
Yeah. I was a guy that was accepting fatigue.
Well, let's see if the bottlers bottle it, eh? Let's see if the bottlers
So,
bottle it.
so what do you want? Where are the goals coming from?
Where are the goals coming from tomorrow? Where do you see goals coming from tomorrow? Casemiro
Well,
again?
if we stay like this, then we can only hope a new striker will bring some goals. But Man United, the problem is, I'm a type of person. There's different ways of watching a game. You know, sometimes I'm watching a game and I'm watching it with my emotion, with my feeling. Some games I look at the stats and we had like 40% possession, but it felt like we had 70% possession because I felt control. I felt comfortable. I felt, the inevitability that we will do what we're supposed to do. Now, Mick alluded to Wan-Bissaka. It's rare to say that Wan-Bissaka has a better attacking game than a defensive game, but that's what happened at Bournemouth for me. He was doing inverted runs in behind, and he cut back 2 balls.
Yep.
Really picked out somebody well. His understanding of that is getting better now. It's not only about making chances. That's fine. Okay, you make a chance, that's a good thing. You miss a chance, okay. The problem is opportunities where you have men over, you're going at them. They're at 6s and 7s. The goals are there, but you have to make the right decision, and you have to do, make a decision with some quality. Against Bournemouth, man, there's a lot of moments where this is an opportunity, and it goes begging. It's the wrong pass. The quality is not quite there. The finish ain't there. They have to sharpen up. They have to sharpen up, and we lack a little bit of imagination in the final third.
And that's the most worrying thing. That's the most worrying thing for me. It's the lack of imagination.
Yeah, it's a little bit predictable. I thought Sancho, he showed the qualities that are associated with him. For example, quick feet, pass and move. I like the fundamentals, but it's limited. I believe going forward, the goals can come from anywhere tomorrow. Midfielders can score goals. Anthony could ghost in behind and score. There are goals there, but it's just the decision making and the sharpness of the execution is off, and it has to be better, and it should be better. But I think our guys,
it's missed chances again, because I remember that at Stamford we bullied him for the first half an hour, and he played midfield, and we overpowered him in midfield, and Rashford was getting
shit out of them
after chance. We kept missing, and they scored that penalty. Obviously, McTominay did what he did. Casemiro got us out of jail. Listen, I'm going to stay with you. Prediction for the score.
I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for us, man. That's what I'm going to go for.
Wow. 3 goals, Manchester United.
I'm going to be there to see it. Let's hope it's not. I'm not talking bullshit.
Wow. You're disappointed tomorrow if you think Manchester United are scoring 3 goals for you. Listen, we'll have to get you a proper season ticket for you to be there every game. If Manchester United score 3 tomorrow, honestly, it's going to be crazy.
Let's hold on that. Let's see if it's worth going next year. Let's see how we kick on.
Exactly.
I remember going. I went with Dino boys. We sat in the Stretford end against was it Sevilla, I think. and there was a guy that was carrying 3 pints of beer. And as a joke, I said to him, "Are they all yours?" He goes, "Yeah, they are. I can't watch this team if I'm not drunk anymore."
That's the truth. That's the truth. Oh God! He tried to give us a pint. Remember, he was like, "Come on, lads."
Yeah, I was tempted, man. It was that bad.
Exactly. It is what it is. Listen, we've all been there. The dreadful football we've watched these seasons. But listen, I'm gonna go to Jarvis. Jarvis, give me your goal scorers tomorrow. Come on, give me some positivity. Who's gonna bang them in tomorrow?
Rash.
Yeah, we're talking about Thursday, aren't we?
Thursday, yeah, Thursday.
Yeah. No, I don't have any prediction. I know the result. We're going to win 1-0. Yeah, 1-0, and
by the way, big up Fraser HK says, if you don't smash us, you're Chelsea fan. If you don't smash us, there's something seriously wrong with United.
No. We're not buying all that, man.
Go ahead, Jarvis.
yeah, the goal scorer. It's hard to say because I can't see anyone scoring a goal. But okay, let's just pick one. Anthony De Santos. He can score a goal, and I know how he will score it. Guess who? How? He will curl it in the curling shot, as you call it, Nuruddin.
Okay.
No, they're nice. I hope we see that one of those on Thursday. That would be nice live.
Okay, Mundo, who's scoring tomorrow? Come on.
I think it's 1-0 United. I'm going to go for Bruno.
Okay.
I think Bruno's scoring tomorrow.
Yeah. What are you thinking? 2-1? 1-0 United?
1-0.
1-0. Wow. Big Ruby, talk to me.
I would like to see a demolition 4-0, but I'm not going to say 4-0. I'm going to go 3-0 Manchester United for a reason, because they don't have any attacking line. They're just going to sit back and taken it as an evidence that if we keep going, we get warmed up. We see slick passes like we saw against Bournemouth. The first half was brilliant. Where the goal's going to come from, it's going to definitely, if Bruno finds his shooting boots, the wheels will come off on Bruno. I think Anthony De Santos is due a goal. I think if we come in with a Garnacho will score, and I think Marcus Rashford will score. And perhaps
I can't wait for Thursday now.
Yeah. And I think also if Martial is playing, he will score as well. So there is goals. And Casemiro, there is goals. Depends on.
Okay.
3-0 for me then.
Okay. Well, that's
Clip
interesting. That is very interesting. I think this game's got draw written all over it. Not gonna lie to you, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
We cannot have draw. We have 3 points to come third. That's it.
Well, yeah, I think it's got draw written all over it. I don't think Manchester United have any goals in us. Like I said, the players are mentally fatigued and they refer into type where they just shoot. They don't want to even do the extra pass. It's just frustrating, honestly. Super frustrating. I went straight after for the match reaction for Bournemouth on Man UFC Realist TV, and I was just deflated. I can't fake it. Honestly, I was just like,
yeah, we know. We were kicking off doing headbanging and rocking and playing air guitar, and in comes Nuruddin, but just kill the mood.
Killed it, huh?
Who farted?
I'm sorry, I'm not a good actor. I can't fake it. Manchester United recently have been depressing me. The performances are just depressing. And it's hard for me just to concentrate on the score when that's all I judge going to games is the performance. I want to see something I'm not seeing, a bit of sparkle play, a style of play. Yeah, the couple of times that Wan-Bissaka went to the byline and cut it back, there was one time for Bruno, and Bruno was just lackluster, just don't know what the hell he's doing, shooting. And I think he deflected of a defender and went wide. Yeah, you could say that was unlucky. But yeah, there was maybe a couple of little bits of pattern of play. But that's all it was.
It's coming, bro. It's coming though. Next season, it's you get third. It is coming.
Next season is that Eric Ten Hag, instead of playing Sunday and not
few more players, bro.
Touchwood are not going to play 3 games a week. Touchwood, and I think that some games sometimes he'll get a week in between and drilling, and that's what I said from the beginning. That when you are a new manager, you come to a club, you need to drill the team on the patterns of play. So when fatigue, whether it's mental or physical or emotional, sets in, they can fall back on those patterns of play. and he's not giving them those patterns of play. So that's why we're the way we are. But next season is going to be crazy, people. It's going to be crazy. For the last final topic, we're going to talk about. Actually, let me just talk about this. I would say that next season, I worry for Manchester United because there are so many teams that could finish way above us, honestly. But I want to go to this Mick Cox. I think his name Mickey Cox or one of the Cox guys. He came out. He's one of our recruitment guys. He basically came out and admitted that Manchester United let Evan Ferguson slip through their fingers.
Oh man, just add him to the list. Add him to the big heap, that big pile that we've done that with recently.
Martinelli is the latest ones in it. How many players that we had that were at Manchester United and we let them go? I mean, it's just shocking. The kid must have been so super talented at the age of 14 or 15 when he was playing. And now he said it's the 50 million mistake, he said. I mean, what does that tell you about Manchester United Football Club in the last decade?
We know, to be honest with you, Man United. And in retrospect, you always think, why didn't we? We know about most players. But whether we get them or we don't get them is another story. Now, there is a lot of players that maybe they've looked at Caicedo and thought, yay, nay, Evan Ferguson. You know, they have to start getting these things right. This is a big difference with success as well next season and going forward. There are teams like Liverpool, like Manchester City. Yeah, they do spend. But if you spend big on a player, if you'd bought Maguire for 80 million and you'd gotten 6-7 beautiful seasons out of him, okay, fine, great. You know, that's all right. But what is happening here is, look at the guy they got for 12 million, Julian Alvarez. He starts in Man United, no doubts. He's a quality player. They have to start getting this right. And I think Ten Hag, with the signing of guys like Eriksen, somebody like Malacia, this goes back to your previous point about what you want to see. I think now that we're winding the season up, I'm reading the Marcelo Lippi book at the moment, and he's saying the same things that I've heard Ten Hag say 3 times this season, which is, I have to adapt to my players. This was a season where he will tell him, now, you are with me next year. You, I won't count on next year. There are players that can't play, or, you know, they're just not going to be able to play what we want to do, and they'll be free to go. And we'll bring in players that will allow us to do what we want to do. You are limited in what you can do by what you have at your disposal. Manchester City, from the goalkeeper to the striker, they all have a certain profile of ability, which is technical, comfort on the ball, understanding of this system, and it's pretty seamless. They do spend, but you know what? They get something for their money. Liverpool also have an idea of what we want to fit in line with the Klopp type of football, and they're even more efficient than Manchester City. So I think the important thing is trust this manager, trust his vision, and trust what he wants. Because I think if we get top 4 with the trophy, and I've seen enough good football, yes, it's inconsistent, but again, now I'm saying it, I think what we want to do is perhaps hindered by what we have at our disposal. But I'm excited, and I've seen enough to believe that next season we will kick on.
Let's hope you're right. Let's hope you're right. Mundo, talk to me. Evan Ferguson slipped through our fingers. Caicedo, Alvarez. How many of these players that Manchester United could have bought, we would have a totally different looking kind of team at this moment in time. But it just shows you the shambolic way that we run and the reasons why the Glazers have to go. They must go. There's no way a percentage of them ever staying at this football club. But Evan Ferguson, I can imagine he was super talented at the age of 14.
Yeah, apparently Liverpool thought they had him in the bag as well. Before he went to Brighton. But the thing is,
maybe I'm blaming Manchester United too much. Maybe it was his parents. Maybe they thought Brighton might be the best place for him to come through.
Maybe, possibly. But the other thing as well is, what I don't understand, we're hearing these things about Caicedo and Ferguson and so on and so forth. Yet we stand to pay up to 35 million for Ahmad. Now he's a super talented player. Don't get me wrong, but you know, even it just shows the mess we're in. Even when we get young up and coming players, we're still paying over the odds for them. You know, why are we not getting the Caicedos for 5 million? Why are we not getting Evan Ferguson, these types of players? We got Pelistri only because of our connection with Forlan. It seems like we're heavily reliant on ex-players to get us these. What's going on with our scouting?
I'll tell you why.
I suspect. See,
Actually, Mundo, our scouting is a fantastic scout, but nobody.
yeah, I
listens.
think it's unfair to blame the scouts. I think it's the
Nobody
decisions being made at the club about the players that we're signing. There's too much interference from the board. That's just my take on it. I don't know. I don't have any info. I'm not basing that on any information, but that's what it seems, because these guys are micromanagers. You know, when it comes to this, is why it takes so long for Manchester United to get a signing through the door, because has to go through so many flipping checks and balances. And ultimately, I mean, I've heard rumors about Joe Glazer in particular, right? And his interference and some of the crazy situations he's created when it comes to negotiating, like with the Bruno deal. His involvement completely sours our relationship with other clubs, relationships that we've built over years, right? And the way that he negotiates these deals, it's like clubs don't want to deal with us anymore. And there's all these going through intermediaries and all this BS, right? Rather than just picking up the phone, you know, director of football speaking to that director of football. I'm not sure if that's now changed under Murto, but I know Murto has a reputation for getting young players.
He's a yes man, Mundo. He's a yes man. That's why he got the job.
Yeah. But he has pedigree apparently when it comes to getting young players. You know, like
yeah. Without him or that Fernandez as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's just hope under the new ownership that we take advantage of these situations, because that is Manchester United's heritage, isn't it? We bring through young players, and it's a mix of young players, developing players that we turn into superstars, and good homegrown talent. And we kind of lost our way completely in terms of the profile players that we bring into the club. They're just random. So what we're seeing now in terms of what Ten Hag is dealing with is a legacy issue. He's basically dealing with 4, 5, 6 different managers, players, right, going all the way back to David Moyes, which is absolutely ridiculous. And people are expecting to see us perform like Man City and Liverpool and so on and so forth. But if you were to get the squad that Klopp inherited and look at the team he's got now, or even 2 or 3 seasons after he joined the club, and the same with Guardiola, very few, if any of those players are still at the club. And that's how proper football clubs are run. You know, you do have a lifespan. We've got players that have been at Martial. We're still talking about potential. He's been at Man United for almost a decade.
No, it's not potential anymore, man. The guy's becoming Louis Saha, so he needs to head out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got these. Look at the players we've Luke Shaw, for example, he's had a good season, but he's been at Manchester. It's taken him 10 years almost. Like, how many years has it taken him to get to this level?
Well, we'll have to judge next season, because I've seen this movie before. Him getting a new contract and then playing well for the contract, then down tooling the next year. So we'll see. We'll see if he repeats himself. Mick, go ahead, Mick Ruby.
Yeah, no, I just want to echo what people have been saying before, but and just also to confirm that every single deal has been vetoed by Joel Glazer and Abraham Glazer. Everything has been overridden, and there's been numerous occasions where you've been offering, because they do get offered players like the players coming from the grassroots, because I know I worked in that industry, and usually gets turned down because they want big shirt sellers, and absolutely that slows things down. Even John Mert has been doing a fantastic job, but everything goes at the end of the day by the Glazers to sign off. That's one thing. But with the, I'm not personally the person that look back in anger, like the Oasis song, Don't Look Back in Anger. I just look at new page, new John, new ownership, new structure, backing the manager without having interference with the board. Like, let the board do the thing, let the football operations do the thing, right? So, and trust me, you cannot sign every single talent that's offered to you. Like, you You get offered so many players by agents and intermediate, and something's going to slip behind your cracks. But I just point one thing. Garnacho. We paid £475,000 for him 2021 from the youth academy, right? That is one example of good recruit, right? We paid for Ahmad, right? He's been out on loan. He had a madness season with Sunderland, right? He's coming back in as well, right? You cannot sign every single talent and hope they will turn good, but the scouting department needs to look more of the, not the clear and obvious signings, like they will charge you an arm and leg 70, 100. You also need to go on the South American, African continent, find those hidden gems. Like, if you remember Chelsea's, like, what's his name? Kante, for instance. Bring those in, bring those Caicedos in, right? Why would you go and buy a Caicedo that's 50, 70 when you bought him for 11? You need to be smart. Listen to those grassroots agents as well. This offering.
I mean, the biggest thing was that when Woodward came in, actually certain agents got sacked because they were like, "You're not getting our reports. Are you not seeing what these players need? It's a must." And he sacked them. He sacked, I think.
But no, right. The thing is, the way the Glazer model has been operating is that they inflate the overall valuation of the club by looking at the squad evaluation. Then that is part of an asset. If your squad is worth
Glazonomics,
yeah. They don't give a shit if it's if it fits in the model, because that adds the extra valuation to the overall sales price.
That's it.
Stock price.
Listen, Jarvis, you on the last one. Evan Ferguson, we missed out. We missed out on so many great young players. Obviously, the way it is, the club has to change. It must, going forward. When we get rid of the Glazers, we hope and pray we get rid of the Glazers ASAP. But it has to change. We have to act like a football club, because we don't act like a football club. And then we're all wondering, why is it we're performing that bad on the football pitch? Everything has a process. The back stuff, what people don't see every day. The people who are working so hard behind the scenes, and there's so many good people at Manchester United, but they're not even allowed to do their jobs because of the way the Glazers, they run us on a financial model where it's a banking instrument, financial instruments that they use. They sign players in these. That's why we can never sell players. They sign players for big money and then put them on big wages, and that's why we can't get rid of players as well.
Yeah, that's been a problem for many years. You can't get rid of players, and they won't take a loss, so it hinders the recruitment. I think also we have been in a bad spell when it comes to transfers. In the beginning with Moyes and especially Louis van Gaal, and we were like, okay, we can sign anyone. We were trying to go for big name players, Di Maria, Falcao. We had many, and Pogba. All those signings, Harry Maguire, none of them worked. So I think the recruitment and even the board, they lost the confidence in spending money. That's one thing. And when it comes to youngsters, Solskjaer, he wanted Haaland, he wanted Bellingham, what other players that we could have gotten for a cheaper price at the time. But as Nick mentioned and Mundo, we can't get them over the line. And basically, of course, we can't sign everyone. Some will slip.
But we would like to sign proper players at a youth level. But honestly, if Jarvis,
you know something very interesting, I want to pitch in regarding Ole there as well. He was lied to for 1 year that he was getting Sancho. The Glazers lied to him. Ed Woodward lied to him. They told Ole, yeah, we're going to get Sancho. We're going to get Sancho. That's why you got that spin. Then on the second year, we got Sancho. But they lied to Ole.
They lied to every manager. They lied to every manager. They didn't just lie to Ole. They lied to every manager.
Fucking shambles, to be honest.
We're going to have to close it up here, but we'll see what happens on Thursday. Touch wood. Manchester United get the point or the 3 points that we need. For me, finishing third and try to get 6 points and try to finish with the highest total tally of points would be a good thing for me, because that shows you in 38 games where you finish in the season. So I would like Manchester United to do that, me personally. get closer to Arsenal. But we'll see what happens. We'll be back here on Thursday night, obviously with a match reaction. When me and Bumbaye come back. Let's hope the boys put on a show for Bumbaye because he's not been there for a while. We hope and pray. We hope and pray. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Make sure you check out the Massive. Bumbaye, never see him anywhere on social media. He's tied to 150 years of United Real Therapy. Signed, sealed, delivered the contract. Done deal. So he's never leaving here. He's got no clause in that contract. He's forever tied to this channel. Jarvis Cocker, you check him out. Bowley, BOLE 77 on Twitter. Always posting. Mick Ruby there at Mick Ruby. And then Man UFC Realist TV. Make sure you go and check it out. Jarvis and Mick Ruby are always on their cracking joke. The Mighty Mundo, the toddlers are still too young for him to tweet. He's not tweeting, and I think maybe he'll start tweeting when the Glazers go, because he hardly ever tweets.
Once the Glazers go, you will see a stream of consciousness all over Twitter. I will be celebrating like nothing. I'll be celebrating almost as much as when my children were born. Almost as much. Wow,
that says a lot, doesn't it? Honestly, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because it's like a birth, the rebirth of Manchester United when those fuckers get out of our club.
Exactly. And by the way, those of you want to follow Mr. Structure, that guy Red Devil, if you want to give us a hit, I always just tweet about different things on there, but I'm always hoping for first goal vital. That's what you'll get on my tweets before games. First goal vital. Because I
got to give you a compliment. I really enjoy your new backgrounds now, actually. Better than the green screen thing.
Yeah. Big up to Jarvis and to big up to Mick Ruby as well. And thank you so much for helping us with the
thumbnail today. No worries.
With the layer for the show. Thank you so much for the preview for the show. So big up to you. That's
I'm gonna make you an intro as well if you want.
Mick Ruby Studios, mate. Pixar X, mate. That's what it's all about. Big up to Craig Warby, man. He's wearing that Brian Robson 93 Cup Winners' Cup Final kit. That's what I'm talking about, mate. One of our first kits. Me and Mundo. I remember me and Mundo running home to watch that game. Do you remember Mundo in primary school? That game was on. We were in primary school and the game was on, and we had to run home to watch that game. I'll never forget that. And Stevie Bruce header beat Barcelona 2-1 in Rotterdam.
30 years ago, if not longer. Over 30 years ago that was.
Hey, don't be letting people know. In primary school, we were kids running home. Go watch United. Go to watch United. That's how it was, the exciting days. And after that, 91, it was not 93. We went like that till Fergie retired, and then we went right head dive, no helmet, down the peakest mountain. We fell off a mountain, but from 91 till about 2011, it was like that. We were up there, mate, up, banging out.
We've fallen into the Mariana Trench, which is like the deepest trench in the ocean. That's how far we're still falling at the moment. We haven't even hit the bottom yet.
And I remember me and Mundo will go and try to chase girls. We would go to city centre and forget about even watching the game or keeping an eye on the game. And we would used to see on teletext Dixon's. There's a famous
teletext,
and they used to have the teletext results coming through. And we used to stand at the window going, "Oh, Andy Cole scored. Yeah, that is it. Cantona, right? 1-0 Man United. 2-1 Manchester United." There we go.
Jesus Christ, man. I forgot about this teletext, mate.
Wow. There's people. 1991. Cup Winners' Cup kit.
Nice kit, that.
He's got it there.
That's
Wow.
vintage.
There you go. Jarvis ain't messing about.
Yeah. I was lucky because there were only 200 sold of those in Norway, and it was you had to win it in the supporter club. So I was one of the lucky ones.
Wow. Lock it in, keep it safe.
Wow.
Double encrypted. Come on.
You have to wear that shirt, right? You have to wear that shirt sometime, Travis. That is a legendary shirt, man.
There's no number or a name on the back.
That's it. You need to get that. Robson, number 7. Robson. It is what it is, people. It is what it is.
Jesus Christ. Teletext. I forgot about that one.
Teletext, mate. We used to check the results. Remember, Mundo? Was it 306 or something like that? BBC, teletext. Let's check the results.
Oh, you used to get the
teletext.
You used to have like the old teleprompter as well. Like it used to come up on the screen.
The results used to come up. Yeah,
like they used to come up and make that
there
sound.
we go.
And you had the first Motorola brick phones as well, right?
We had all of that. We remember that. We remember all those craziness. But listen, Therapy Army, we've gone over 1 hour and 25 minutes. Big up to everybody. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channels. Bowley77 Jarvis Cocker at Twitter. Mick Ruby, Man UFC Realist TV. Check out the studio as well. Bumbaye is tied to you. Mighty Mundo, Glazers Go. Mighty Mundo is, like I said, he's all over Twitter. He's trending on Twitter. That's what will happen. The craziness that he'll get up to with the Glazers Go.
I'll be doing some illegal shit on Twitter.
Exactly. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. We need super wealth, man. We need super wealth to get us back to where we were. Because I can't see any other team stopping Man City other than Manchester United, the mighty Manchester United coming back to take what is theirs. But we'll see what happens. Apparently next week we'll know who the preferred bidder is. Glazer, Radcliffe games are being played right, left, and center. But peace, love, light, win, lose, draw, Glazers out, Bankers out, Jim Radcliffe out. Take care, people. Good night. See you Thursday night for the match reaction. Come on, Bumbaye. Let's be having ya.
Let's be having it.